So hopefully you all got a chance to get your hands on everything that's out there right now. Now we can take some time to get to know our special guests for the evening, who've come all the way from New York. New York. So first up, we're going to have Noah Sasso, the guy behind Miracle Adventures in 2113. As you've probably seen by now, Miracle's a super unique two-handed shoot-'em-up with a bit of a nostalgic twist. And apart from Noah's music, which permeates the game, one super interesting factoid is that the game's, in a weird way, a spiritual sequel to this. Miracle Robot's Adventure in 2011, which it is right now. Basically an entirely unheard of Famicom game from nearly 25 years ago. So let's take a quick look at how that game operated.
Yeah!
Yeah, blue!
Yeah! It's the birds, blue!
This game looks amazing, kind of! It's a reflection of the meaning of God. Take two! Yes!
Kill Kenny!
You can do it! You can do it! Why are you a girl?
You need to buy the DLC!
Oh shit, that's it.
Yeah!
So anyway, that was a little taste of that. Let's take a look at Noah's game as it is right now.
Oh shit!
Oh, the future!
This is it!
Wow, that's better. He's using the Kinect.
So let's give a warm welcome to Noah, who's going to say a few words.
Oh my god!
Yay, Noah!
Can you not?
Yeah.
Same shirt! Same shirt!
Yeah, so, this is awesome. Thanks so much to everybody. I think, pretty amazing turnout. I think Toronto is pretty incredible. Probably not incredible enough at Hopra to beat Matt and I in an hour per
USA!
Yeah, so, I don't know. I guess I'll just talk about Miracle Adventures for like a minute or two. So, yeah, it's kind of based on a really obscure kind of old Famicom game when several...
No, we like it.
A couple years ago, I was kind of at I was in this point in my life. I was kind of had a lot of spare time and was kind of in this weird state. So I was going through every ROM on this NES CD-ROM of every like 1,500 Famicom games, playing them all in order, just kind of checking them all out, doing some research. And I came across the most bizarre and kind of the game that like pushed the player away more than I've ever experienced before. This Miracle Adventures. It was this weird platformer. I mean, a couple of the things about it that I thought were interesting was you run around, you're in this suit, you take damage, and this little girl pops out. You run, and you can run to the end of the level as the little girl, but when you try to go to like the gate that takes you to the next level, you just die, and there's no way to get back in the suit. It's just like this weird little kind of gesture that like maybe you want people to play the game, will give you a hit point or whatever, but actually you can't do anything with it. So it's really weird like design decision, and it was incredible. I was kind of getting into game design, making games for myself the first time. I thought that was really different for good reason, but still kind of fascinating. There are holes. I mean, you jump in what looks like a warp zone, it just puts you in a pit, and then that's game over. Like, weird, curious things. So, I don't know. I spent a lot of time on it. I had a lot of free time at the moment. I was at my parents' house. Like I said, my uncle had passed away recently, and so I was kind of doing a lot of family work, but also not really working and not really doing much else or going out. So I kind of really dove into this game and thought I'd beat it, which I did by using save states and emulators. And basically condensed playing this game for two lifetimes into 1 month. And so I did that, and I really got saturated with this game and decided to kind of borrow a lot of the kind of style, like the art style in particular. It's this whole idea of not using black lines on the pixel art. They're all kind of flat colors of sort of kind of large colored backgrounds. It's just kind of an aesthetic. Really old school looking aesthetic mode. But anyway, that's kind of the origin of the game. The actual game is really nothing like Miracle Adventures in 2100. Miracle Robots Adventures in 2100. The actual game is nothing like that. The game design is, I think, relatively unique. It was kind of an experiment for me. The idea is you have one hand controls the character, the other hand controls this magnet. And it's like a kind of a bullet hell kind of situation. You've got tons of projectiles coming at you, and you need to dodge them, and you use the magnet to kind of change their trajectory and either counterattack or kind of make paths for yourselves. And I'm really into that kind of style of that genre, kind of for the same reason I like this game. It's really kind of different than what people are doing now, and it kind of pushes the player away in a weird way. But it's kind of referred to as a very pure genre, shoot 'em ups. It's just if you look at reviews of games, that's just a word that comes up often. It's just this is a very pure game, and often that's followed by and it's probably not worth $20. And it's very difficult or whatever. But that pure. I mean, there's something to that. That pureness is it's just you avoid things and you move, and that kind of sparseness creates a space for aspects of the player to come to. I guess, to the front of the experience. It's not it's an authored experience, but much of what's happening depends on you rather than what you're seeing on the screen. Because, playing these games well requires you to practice. And, that's why they're not very, very popular right now, but it's interesting, it puts, positive qualities of the player, and it brings them to the front, dedication and perseverance. If you're going to play this game well, you need to practice it, and you need to be good at it, and you can't kind of grind through it. And it's kind of interesting. So I wanted to make something that would stand up to that kind of gauntlet. And so it's hard. I don't know if so I don't know if it's appealing to the vast majority of the players, but that's okay. I mean, it was kind of an experiment for myself too. I was learning to program at the same time, and learning what kind of making games was all about. So that's about it, I guess.
Are you talking about Terry Riley? Why Riley's important?
Well, I mean, music, I think, in general, is really important for the game. The trailer, the soundtrack that we just heard was a Terry Riley piece.
Who's Terry Riley?
Terry Riley is a composer. I guess he's kind of considered modern, contemporary classical, I guess.
Very important composer.
and yeah, brilliant composer. He's from California, I believe. He's considered a minimalist, I guess, although he's not really minimal in the sense that's like someone like Steve Reich or Philip Glass is. Like their music is like very kind of not conceptual, but it's like procedural. Like Terry Riley is kind of lumped in with those guys, but his music is kind of very improvisational and like freeform, which actually is kind of one of the things I wanted to get at with this game. Kind of interestingly enough, like a big part of just to jump back a second, a big part of bullet hell shooters and shmups in general is memorization. And that's actually not something I'm super interested in. I'm like more into improvisational play, I guess. And that's kind of what comes out of the magnet mechanic. Because even if you're the greatest player at this game in the world, you'll probably be thrown into unexpected situations because the interaction between the magnet and the projectiles is pretty like unpredictable and complicated. And that's kind of what's great about Terry Riley's music too. Is he sets up situations and rules. Like his most famous piece, I guess, is in C, I'd say, which is a set of rules about. I don't know, 50 or 60 performers, they all play in C at different rhythms and different instruments. But it's different every time because there's not really much else to it than that. But it always makes sense in the end because that's actually a pretty cool rule set for making an awesome piece of music. Yeah, so that was the trailer music. I kind of just borrowed that. I don't think Terry Riley would mind. The actual soundtrack of the game is also pretty cool. It's composed by some friends and I. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. It's all like circuit bents, SK1 music. SK1 is like an old sampling keyboard that a lot of people probably had when they were a kid, where you could kind of punch a button and then make a funny sound and then play it on the keyboard at different pitches. So yeah, I guess that's about it.